We're gonna be, we're stripping for a month? No.
This month, we're gonna be pole dancing.
Pole dancing.
Pole dancing. Pole dancing. I'm in a Ladylike video. I'm so excited.
We are going to start S Factor, which is a type of pole activity. Yes, it's pole dancing, but it's so much more. S Factor is a pole studio that focuses more on female empowerment and feeling sexy for yourself rather than feeling sexy for someone else. It gave me the confidence in myself and in my body to really go after my dreams, believe it or not. That's why I want to share it with like literally everyone in my life.
I hadn't heard about S Factor until I met Devin.
I know that S Factor is like super empowering and super fun and like really uplifting.
Devin teaches it, I know that. I also know that it's framed specifically as like something that you do for you.
I've heard people talk about how pole dancing could like get them more in touch with their sexual side, and that's an area of my life I could use help in.
I heard like it's a really good workout, but also you have a lot of fun so it doesn't feel like you're working out, but we'll see.
It's basically just swinging your body around a pole and hoping you don't subject someone to like an involuntary colonoscopy of your body at the same time.
Why did a colonoscopy come into this?
I don't know how wide your butt goes.
I'm quite nervous. I feel like it takes a tremendous amount of flexibility and strength to pole dance, and I have neither.
Every time I see people doing this in videos, they're like holding themselves up with their legs or they're like using a lot of upper body strength. I have no muscle. I would like to feel strong. I think that would be really cool. A part of me feels like I am a little bit conservative in a way, and I kind of want to lose that.
I'm not gonna be very good at that. It's really hard for me to take myself seriously. It's more comfortable for me to be funny than it is for me to be sexy.
I would love to be able to talk about this sort of stuff without giggling and turning red. I would also like to, I don't know, feel a little sexier. I don't know, call me crazy.
It's my sex face. It's just not a good face. I just don't have like the architecture to pull off a sexy face.
I personally believe that we have, you know, both masculine and feminine energy in everyone. S Factor isn't like a gendered place. It's a movement that's for anybody and everybody who is curious about the feminine energy that lives within them.
Because I don't have like big breasts and a big butt and like an hourglass shape. I feel like being sexy kind of feels silly.
I don't consider myself ladylike, get it? Ladylike video. But like also, gender is a social construct that I don't have time for. So I'm gonna do whatever the fuck makes me happy.
I usually just make jokes before anything else, so I don't know if I ever really embraced any sort of feminine energy. I'm sure it's there. I have a lot of maternal energy, which annoys my friends. I mom out.
I'm married, so I kind of only have to be sexy for an audience of one. He thinks I'm great. I don't really need to bat much higher than that. Like,
for me personally, it's sort of hard to define what makes like a feminine body or what makes feminine energy. What I think I'm going to try to explore is just becoming comfortable in a space that encourages you to move your body in a way that allows you to feel free and opens you up to different types of dance.
I'm like excited to get to know myself and all that jazz, but I'm also very excited to like twerk something, move something, twist something.
That's what we're gonna be doing. Starts tomorrow. Am I ready to teach? Yes. Am I a little worried? Yes. Am I excited? Fuck yes. Let's do this. Hey gals, let's do this.
hi.
How are y'all? Are you excited? You were the most excited on the email.
Yeah, and then I saw the polls and now I'm kind of like,
How are you, Kristen?
I'm fine. I think it's gonna be good. I think, yep.
So as you can see, there's absolutely zero mirrors in this space. Also, you'll notice we have a lot of red lights and candle lights in the room. I mean, that is super sexy and romantic, but it also kind of creates this like womb-like effect when you come into the room. I want you to feel warm and safe, that you're not judged here. This is a place where you can come and just let yourself go. So I came to S Factor in 2012. Shortly after I moved to Los Angeles, I was raped, and by my boss. After that happened, I just blamed myself. My body kind of became my enemy and not mine. Well, I came here and the teacher gave me permission to actually touch my belly as I was doing abs. And I remember being like, holy crap. It was just like this feeling of feeling charged and powerful because I could feel my muscles working underneath my hand and I could feel myself getting warm, and it just was so empowering. And so I threw my credit card at the front desk and I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna afford this, but I'm gonna do it. Since then, I've just kind of devoted my life to helping women feel home in their bodies. So yeah, you ready to dive in?
Yeah.
Woo, let's do this! Okay, so we're gonna learn our first culture trick. Are y'all ready?
Yeah.
It's called the nothing trick because it's literally what it is. Jen is having to time her life. Your non-dominant hand's gonna come across your chest like a seatbelt. And then you're gonna step out with your outside leg. And then you're just gonna let yourself come all the way down. Okay. So we're gonna take this into our first trick. The good news is, you already know half of it. It's called the Firefly. Here we go. Once you find flight, the top of your opposite foot is gonna come behind your first foot on the pole. Come all the way around. Yeah, Jen! Yeah.
Okay.
Kate.
You guys are. Wait, what? How's everyone getting this from me?
I see people doing pull, and I think that those people are super strong, and those people are really confident. They're capable of doing so much with just their body. I kind of want to be able to get to that point. I think that would be awesome.
Past few months, my body has taken ownership of me, and I haven't taken ownership of my body. Just like being diagnosed with polycystic ovarian syndrome and like gaining a whole bunch of weight because of it. While this is kind of a setback and my lifestyle has changed, that doesn't mean I still can't celebrate myself, and so that is why I'm here.
I want to be able to consider myself sexy. I've always considered myself cute. There's nothing wrong with that, but when I think of sexy, like I am on the other side of the spectrum. So I want to really find that in myself.
I feel the same way as Fred. I don't view myself as sexy. I view myself as being like, I'm funny. I'm too funny to be sexy. Most of my weight I carry in my stomach. Like, I have a lot of hormonal acne. I feel like I spend a lot of time hiding and like covering all of that up. And so it would be nice to be in an environment where like it's very dark and I don't have to do any of that.
I feel like a lot in my life is like, oh, this is the right thing, this is the wrong thing. There's so much like shame involved with being sexy. I feel like this is the place to really work through it.
So we're gonna break for a second, and then you're gonna join me over here on the bench. I've got a little surprise for you. I brought in the teachers today, and little Gracie, who's probably a teacher in training, to kind of give you a sense of what it's like, this like party. They may join me in a dance, they may not, we'll see. So yeah, let's get set up for that.
The girls just had their first class and I think they did so well. They're gonna be learning 8 new tricks and they're gonna learn a bunch of new sexy dance routines for them to have and practice and whatever. But because I don't want this video to be like 8 weeks long, I'm only gonna show you 4 of my favorite tricks that I'm gonna teach them, and you can see and kind of mark their progress throughout this video and how good that they get. The third trick I'm gonna teach them, probably in the second week, is called the Ballerina. It incorporates a little bit of leg swing and they kind of land on their knees and sexy crawl out. I also teach them the half pint. I call it my mindfuck trick because you actually kind of set up like you're going into the ballerina, but you go backwards around the pole. The next trick I'm gonna teach them is a one-legged firefly, which is also really fun. It involves wrapping one of your legs around your body. It looks really pretty because you're floating through the air. I'm gonna teach them probably our most painful trick, which is called the pole sit. And it involves them really just wrapping their legs around the pole and hanging out. And when they're ready, they're gonna prance down the pole with their legs, passing the pole back and forth between their thighs as if they were playing hot potato. Even though I knew these women, because they're my coworkers and like my best friends, I was still really nervous. But after the first class, I feel like very confident that everyone's gonna have their own personality in the room. And I'm really excited to move forward. So the month, it starts now.
So we just finished class number 2. It took some motivation for me to get here. Yeah. I was like in my Sunday lazy mode, but once I got here, it was amazing.
I don't know, I just feel so sexy right now.
Yes.
I was in such a bad mood before I got here, and then I got here and I was like, never mind.
Never mind. All right, until next time.
I'm about to strut through Trader Joe's.
Oh my God, I'm so sore. I want to die. Kill me, bow, bye. Kill me, I hate everything.
Dancing is something that I'm starting to realize might just not be for me. It's not that I feel like I'm bad at it, it's just that doing it is something that makes me feel like this isn't me.
Sometimes I get too in my head to really enjoy my body.
I'm sore, to say the least. But you know, I will say it is the first time in a long time where I feel truly sexy. I'm excited to see how sensual I become by the end of this month.
Classes 3 and 4, I feel like I really figured out my rhythm and my vibe. I was convinced that I didn't look as good doing the pole tricks as some of the other girls because they just have longer legs. But now that I've gotten more confident with the moves, I feel like I look pretty good doing them for a beginner.
I just got my period. I don't feel great about the idea of, climbing a pole with my thighs with my period. Call me fucking crazy.
I'm sore, Freddie.
What parts of you are sore?
Well, look at this big old bruise on my leg. It's not from swinging on the pole, it's from falling on my ass. Off the pole, onto the ground, which incidentally is hard. It's a good soreness. I feel like I've done a hard day's pole work.
I love being in the class so much because it's so empowering and we all cheer each other on so hard and you kind of feel like just like a badass when you're in there. I guess the biggest question I have is how do I carry what I learned from class, just from like within myself and all that confidence, to the outside world?
I've noticed that like with pole dancing or whatever, that I'm starting to feel a lot more sexy in my body. A year or so ago, I was diagnosed with polycystic ovarian syndrome. I've gained a significant amount of weight. I've just been like super hard on myself about it. Whenever I'm in pole class, it kind of feels like all of my worries and my insecurities go away and I'm just there with my body and enjoying it and enjoying the space and the feminine energy.
I bought silk pajamas from Target.
Why?
Because of pole dancing. I feel sexy. I want to sleep sexy now.
Yes! Okay, so we just left pole class. This is the first time we've done it in the morning.
Yeah.
Not only in the morning, but before work. Like we're going to the office now and we're just like in sexy moods and just want to go home.
Pole has basically been kicking my ass the past few weeks. I can do the warm-up exercises totally fine, but when it comes to like putting them together and like feeling graceful and confident, like moving like that is not something that I really feel like I can do. I am like trying to get used to this. I don't know, it just makes me a little uncomfortable because it feels like I'm playing a role.
I'm so just not used to feeling sexy at all. I was only feeling sexy in the class, and now I feel like after doing it a whole bunch and talking to people and really opening up about certain things that I would try to hide. The last class specifically, I was just like letting my shirt go wherever it went and just trying not to feel bad or apologize for however I look.
Fred. Kate's just humping the pole.
Yay, gals, welcome to our last class. All right. Beautiful Megan is here joining us on our last class just to kind of check out what F Factor is about. Because this is our last class, we're gonna marry our pole time and our dance time together a little bit. So I'm gonna have my two newbies back here with me. Everyone else, we're just gonna have a little free-for-all.
Eight classes of pole dancing, 3 months, a lot of sores, a lot of aches, a lot of joy,
All in all, like it was so dope. Like I loved it.
I definitely have woken up being like, why are my underarms and my breasts sore? Is there something wrong with me? And then I remember, no, idiot, it's because you were flinging yourself around a metal pole for 4 hours.
The pole tricks weren't necessarily my biggest learning lesson with taking these classes. I think the dance routines really brought out like a different part of Freddie. Like I learned that like I can be sexy and look cool and feel good doing something new.
Honestly, it went from being something that I didn't think I could really do after the first class to something that I knew I could do at the last class. And that's an accomplishment. I think at some point I felt more confident than I did in the beginning, but I don't know if I ever was at the point where I was like, this is like a day at the spa.
There were definitely parts about the whole experience that I appreciated, that I enjoyed, and that like made me feel strong, especially like the climbing. I really liked pole sits. I was very comfortable like using my body strength to hold myself up. I think what was just hard for me was all of the dance aspects, essentially, which is a big part of it.
Getting through this whole thing and being able to say, yeah, at the end, I was able to do tricks. I was able to show other people how to do tricks. I was able to execute stuff. Like, that's a big deal. And also, like, it really does not matter what your body type is. You really can do this.
I saw my progression confidence-wise grow astronomically over the past few months. A good amount of my insecurities have kind of melted away. Not that they're completely gone, but I kind of look at them more as strengths and part of my uniqueness and part of something that makes me me. And then I'm like, oh, well, if someone doesn't like it, then I literally don't care.
I just decided that for some parts of class, I wasn't necessarily going to participate. But I hope that there are people that know that, like, if you try something and it's not working for you, like, there's nothing wrong with you and there's nothing wrong with the thing. It's just you're you and the thing's the thing.
For me, sexuality is more private. And it's not that I don't applaud it in other people, because I 100% do. I think just for me, it's like sexuality isn't performative. And like, that's okay. That is just who I am.
Like in my day-to-day life, it was more just like, I definitely felt more flexible.
I definitely see myself in a different light. And that's what I wanted. I wanted to learn how to not only feel cute, but also tap into that sexy, sensual side. And I think I did.
So this is it. This rounds up our journey with me as your teacher. Thank you for coming so often. Y'all really stayed committed to this class. I know it was like a long haul, but like, remember in the pre-interviews, I made y'all dance in the back? I was reviewing that footage. I swear to God, I almost started to cry because it's like been like from here to up there, it's been insane. So thank you all so much, and thank you for growing. And like, now we have people climbing poles, which is really cool. And like dancing our heart away. So thank you for letting me share this with you all. And I hope I get to see you then.
It was our last day of prom.
Y'all did it! Thank you for coming for so long, and thanks for Kate and Nyla for joining.
Thank you.
We're all connected as pole sisters now. The first moment we put our hand on those poles, we are pole sisters.
That's because that's where our badges have been.
Yes.
We are all gonna get the pink eye.
Pink eye.
No,
Pink eye.
we would have gotten it. We would have gotten it by now.
No pink eye, just kidding.
Pole dancing at S Factor.
Lady tested.
Lady ready to make this money.
Hey, 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 hey. All right, let's get out of here. Let's get out of here.
We've got merch. Click here to buy it.
Spoons!
Spoon.
Spoon.